Welcome back, poets. We've been working awfully hard at getting some of those big ideas you have for poems into some small packages. Yesterday and today, we're focusing on using precise words. So one of the first things that you learned how to do, one of your strategies, was to think about a topic that gives you a really big feeling. And then you learned how to zoom in on a small moment, maybe a detail that gives you a big feeling about that topic. Yesterday, you learned that poets reread their poetry and ask themselves, are the words that I used creating the image that I want? And if not, poets revise. We want to make sure that our poems are really strong. So we need to make sure that we're using honest and precise words, really sparkly adjectives and fabulous verbs. We want to make sure that we're showing, not just telling what's happening. We want to bring the mood out in our poems, all the while paying attention where our line breaks are. So I'm going to think about a topic that gives me a really big feeling. This might be a family member or a special place. And then you're going to think about, or I'm going to think about, a small moment that gives me a big feeling. So something that gives me a big feeling is my dogs. But I can't just write about my dogs. That might not be so interesting. I'm going to think about a small moment with my dogs. Well, I already started writing a poem about my dog. And I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to go back in and make sure that we have some precise words and that I'm showing what's happening, not just telling. So here it is. Dog. When my son had his tonsils out, our dog slept in his bed. He always sleeps with me, so I missed him. He slept with my son, wagging his tail against the wall, shedding on his blanket, loving him. I was alone until all 12 popsicles were gone and he ate a real dinner. That night, he came back. How did he know? So, I feel like this is okay, but, now that I think I'm done, I've just begun. I know that. So I'm going to go back in and see what I can change here. When my son had his tonsils out, our dog slept in his bed. Let's see if I can describe him. Our big yellow dog slept in his bed. He always sleeps with me, so I missed him. Missed him. I think I could describe that a little bit better. I sort of feel like that's not very strong, and I want my poem to really show what I'm feeling. I missed, I know what missed. My feet missed his furry circle. He sleeps down by my feet. So my feet missed his furry circle. He slept with my son, wagging his tail against the wall, shedding on his blanket. That one doesn't seem very strong either. Let me think. Shedding his golden fur on his blue blanket. On his light blue blanket. Yeah. That's better. Shedding his golden fur on his light blue blanket. Loving him. How about I describe how he was loving him? Oh, he feels so warm when he's laying there all curled up. Loving him with his warm weight. He's so heavy. But that heaviness feels so good when he's laying at the foot of my bed. I was alone until all 12 popsicles were gone. And he, wait, maybe I should tell who he is, so no one gets confused that it was my son eating the popsicles and not my dog. And my son ate a real dinner. That night, he came back. That night, I'm going to use this furry circle. I'm going to repeat that part. His furry circle came back. What's another way I could say came back? That's kind of boring. How about his furry circle? I know. Another way of saying came back is returned. That's more precise. How did he know? How did he know? I always wonder that. How did he know it was time to come back? All right, I'm going to read the whole thing again and see how I like it. When my son had his tonsils out, our big yellow dog slept in his bed. He always sleeps with me, so my feet missed his furry circle. He slept with my son, wagging his tail against the wall, shedding his golden fur on his light blue blanket, loving him with his warm weight. I was alone until all 12 popsicles were gone and my son ate a real dinner. And that night his furry circle returned. How did he know? I feel like that's better. There's one more thing I want to fix, though. I feel like dog. It's kind of not a very strong title. I always wonder how he knew. Maybe I'll call it knowing. All right, friends, when you go back in to write your poems today, you reread what you've written, or maybe start a new one. I want you really to think about the strategies that poets use. Make sure you're really thinking about a topic that gives you a big feeling, and then focus in on that small moment. Once you've done that, don't forget, you're going to use those honest, precise words. Pay attention to the line breaks. Make sure you're showing, not just telling, and try to bring the mood out. Happy writing, friends. Off you go.